just feels different right now. It feels responsive. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here at PLM. From our last episode, we did coilovers and also we did our wheels, and I appreciate you guys for the feedback. Great feedback. We're the first ones to do it based on the Mugen MF10 wheels that we've seen, also the coilovers. Some people might have done the same thing already, but who knows? We installed our very own PLM downpipe. It's been working great. However, we actually got into some minor issues. CEL, or check engine light. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. The car still runs fine. We just want to make sure everything's good. So right now we're pulling up the codes. So we got Johnson right here. It's the plan for today's video. Find out what this check engine light is here, so you guys can see. Oop, you might have changed it. Found it? 6 ECUs. How many codes do we have? One?
6 ECUs on one car. We got P0136. O2 circuit bank 1. Sensor 2. So that is the O2 sensor on the bottom.
It does not work.
A quick Google search.
This is interesting. We might be also the first ones to have a check engine light for the 26 Prelude.
Electrical or voltage issue with the downstream aftercap. It's definitely the fouler that's not working, so we're gonna go ahead and check the engine bay and make sure everything's okay.
How many ECUs does this car have?
There's 6.
6 ECUs, guys. I'm gonna replace the straight one with these two pieces right here. Sorry. Yeah, we're gonna have a 90-degree one right here. Cross fingers. Hopefully it doesn't throw a code anymore. But we pretty much just...
Oh, yep, dropped it. Okay.
Nice.
It blew out, that's why.
Did it really? No. Okay, let's see. I think it's on the side.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, it's not supposed to look like that. This. See the difference? Attached. There's no cat in
Let's
here.
show it to better lighting, I think.
So this is the one we put on. It's not supposed to be see-through. Now if you look at this one, this is the one we're going to replace it with.
Yeah.
It has, if you actually open it, a mini cat. That's what it is.
Mini cat right there, guys, in case if you guys don't want to bring.
So that's actually a mini cat, as in mini catalytic converter. So that's how it's supposed to look like. This is how ours looks like.
Transparent the damn thing.
Yeah, that's why the O2 sensor light came on, because there's nothing in here. This is new. Yeah. So now, I'm ensure that it's not gonna pull out again. I'm gonna go retighten this down over there with a vice grip to make sure it's extra tight, and hopefully it doesn't blow out again.
Sir. Alright, so Johnson's gonna tighten this up right now, guys. So if you guys are doing this at home, make sure you're doing it right. You don't want no errors, okay?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, again, unless if you're okay with having a CEL or having a blown mini cat.
Oh.
Nope.
Damn it. It's harder to turn, so
We're back to square one.
I don't have a 24, so we're gonna just use an open wrench to get as tight as you can. And now you can go ahead and put the O2 spacer, or not spacer, sensor, back in.
That was an easy fix. Hopefully it works.
Clear the code, go out for a drive, like 200 miles. If nothing happens, then you're good to go. If something happens, then you're not good to go. Yeah, that's on my Google Home. Like, let me type this in. Lazy. Ta-da! All that's left is clear the code. Go for a drive. I want to send it. It's so weird. Up there.
Oh,
It is.
it's still there.
Alright, so this is it. P0136. And then all you do is go to raise close. I usually do it like twice. Should be cleared. Nope. Anything wrong? Oh, look at that! Go on.
No CEO.
Nada.
Let's go. No check engine light.
Oh yeah, I can't rev it.
Yeah, we can't rev it at all. Oh, we can, but it takes a lot of time to get that thing done. For today, we're gonna go for a quick drive, make sure everything's well, make sure the check engine lights snap back or anything like that. But later this week, we're gonna be heading out to 2 huge car shows, man. One for Saturday and one for Friday night. And we will be meeting Sun Kang from Fast and Furious, if you guys know Han from Fast and Furious, or Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and Velocity. Are you guys gonna be there? We're also going to be bringing the Prelude. On top of that, also Saturday, we're going to be heading out to another event, which also Sun Kang and also a bunch of influencers, automotive influencers will be there too. So really can't wait for this. But anyways, let's go wrap things up, go for a drive, make sure everything's good. Call it the day. Turn this thing back on. All right, no check engine light, so you guys can see. Support plus. Back to Need for Speed.
Quick drive.
Oh, it feels like it, man. Yeah, a little bit louder.
Right.
Yeah, it feels way a little bit faster. It really does feel faster. It feels faster for some reason.
Is it? Oh, the coilovers.
Yeah, it feels faster. Like it's reacting right away.
I guess what happens when you open up the exhaust. It flow a little better.
Like yeah, like for some reason, like, yeah, it feels different. I mean, the reason why I say that, I've been driving this car ever since we got it. Johnson has driven it too. But I think you should drive it back home and see how you feel it.
Okay.
Oh wait.
It's definitely louder.
Yeah, it's
I hear it.
louder. It's more responsive.
Magic of exhaust flows.
Whoa!
No way. No way. Feel more responsive.
Like, no, you have to drive it. Alright, so as I was saying to Johnson on the way here, on the way to this drive, the car feels more responsive. So, obviously you won't really feel it if you're a passenger. If you have to drive it, or actually you do feel it more. So we're running Sport Plus right now. Sport.
Whoa!
I told you, right?
Wait, what?
I told you, right?
No way.
Bro, I told you. Bro.
No way.
No, I told you. Now you feel it, right?
No.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm freaking lying.
Oh, yeah, it's way more responsive. Alright. No way.
I did not feel this at all the first time we got it.
Okay. It's a very unscientific test, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Okay, alright.
What? No way.
Right? I told you.
No way.
I told you, Johnson. Alright, get on the freeway. Feel it. But it feels way different, right?
No way.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I am in disbelief.
Because I did not, honestly, I did not feel this when we put on the downpipe first.
That's right. Alright. No way. Alright, we're gonna do this for fun.
Yep.
No way.
Let's go.
What?
More power, baby.
No, we gotta strap this to a dyno. It's so much more responsive.
And it's louder. It's a little bit louder, obviously.
Yeah.
So we got off the. Imagine if it was catless.
I'm so confused. What?
But I'm excited. Oh, see how?
No way. That's so responsive.
That's crazy.
Wow. Okay. So,
Alright.
on a scale of 1 to 10, is it worth it?
To me, I would say
I think so.
I would put a 9.5. Like
I put 8.
I would put 9.5 because I want to put the rest of the exhaust here.
I would say 8. It would make it a 10 if we actually figured out, maybe not us, but somebody figured out how to tune it. Because I know that you're not really taking advantage of it's a 200 cell.
Right.
So it flows a lot better, but you're still not taking a full advantage of it because
Not like a fully cool, yeah.
Yeah, so the computer still thinks it's stock.
Right.
You get benefits, but you don't get all the benefits.
That's true.
This is
So responsive. I'm telling you.
what? It did not do that before.
No, that's exactly what I said. When we first put on our downpipe, I was like, all right, cool. It feels the same way. Maybe it was just me, but again, I've been driving this car ever since we got back from our trip, and the car just feels different right now. It feels responsive. I immediately noticed it when we got out of that garage, and now Johnson's driving it. And I told him, yeah, you gotta feel it, man.
This is ridiculous. I'm confused.
Alright.
The downpipe just does that. And before people start ridiculing us, we're not exaggerating. Generally, it's way more responsive.
Yes. For the next video, you guys will see all the good things that we're going to be doing with the Prelude. We're going to go over for our typical spot. Johnson and I, we have this route we always go and drive around here, and then see if. I mean, first things first, make sure the car doesn't have any CL anymore. Second thing, make sure the car runs fine. Lastly, enjoy more of the POV drives. Let's get it. We technically broke the first one. So the whole problem about this video was the mini cat was blown up. Like literally, like when you put something in there, this should have like a mini cat in there. But when we took it out, it blew off. The main reason why the CL popped up. Yes, but overall, gratefully, Johnson, the great mechanic, he was able to take everything out. We had a few things.
Tight space.
Yeah, tight space.
Doable.
But, yes, but other than that, this is definitely worth it. I would say that the car definitely feels way better. And by the way, guys, again, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, do us a favor. Make sure to smash this like button down below. And also subscribe for more PLM videos. And also support our 2026 Honda Prelude build. All right? So I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo! Peace.